Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans, do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hello, Cowboys Nation. Today, we're diving into a story that's shaking up the entire NFL community, especially fans of our beloved Dallas Cowboys. It's a moment that's sparking debates, raising questions about sportsmanship, league discipline, and the ongoing quest for excellence and integrity on the gridiron. You've probably heard about it already, an incident involving our own Tyler Guyton that has caught everyone's attention. But what exactly happened? And what does this mean for the Cowboys, for Guyton, and for the league as a whole? That's what we're going to unpack today in a way that's detailed, comprehensive, and I hope, engaging enough to keep you glued to your screens for the next several minutes. So let's set the scene. The Dallas Cowboys, a franchise with a storied history, a passionate fan base, and a reputation for resilience and grit, are currently in the thick of a competitive season. Coming into this year, expectations were high. The team had made significant roster moves, including some critical additions and subtractions, aiming to contend for another deep playoff run. The defense, the offensive line, the skill positions, everything was aligned for a potential postseason push. But as we all know, football is unpredictable. It's a game of moments, big plays, controversial calls, and sometimes incidents that threaten to overshadow the on-field action. Now, the incident involving Tyler Guyton took place during a high-stakes game against the Philadelphia Eagles, a division rival known for their toughness and strategic prowess. The moment in question occurred at a crucial juncture of the game, where every yard and every play could make the difference between victory and defeat. Tyler Guyton, a promising young offensive lineman, found himself in a situation that no player wants to be in, a contentious moment that ultimately led to disciplinary action. The key moment unfolded when Guyton was involved in a play where he was seen tripping an opposing player. Specifically, he appeared to make a move that, upon closer inspection, was flagged by the referees for being an act of tripping, an illegal move that in NFL rules is considered a serious foul. The footage shows Guyton's leg extending in a way that disrupted the opponent's balance, causing a fall that directly impacted the flow of the game. The reaction was swift. The officials threw a flag, and the moment was replayed repeatedly across social media platforms, igniting debates among fans, analysts, and former players. But here's where things get even more interesting. The league's disciplinary committee didn't just stop at a flag. They launched an official review of the incident, scrutinizing the tape, the context, and the intent behind Guyton's actions. After a thorough assessment, the NFL decided to impose a suspension or fine, details that have not been fully disclosed at the moment. But the message was clear. Intentional or not, tripping is a violation of the league's commitment to sportsmanship and fair play. It's a stance that the NFL has been reinforcing in recent years, especially with the increase in league-wide initiatives aimed at promoting respect, safety, and integrity on the field. So, what are the implications of this decision? First, for Tyler Guyton himself. This isn't just a minor penalty, it's a significant blemish on his emerging career. The young player, who has shown flashes of talent and potential, now faces a period of reflection and recovery. How will this incident affect his confidence? Will it motivate him to improve his discipline and awareness? Or will it cast a shadow over his future performances? These are questions that only time can answer. But for now, it's undeniable that this incident has placed him under a microscope, with fans and critics alike watching every move he makes from this point forward. For the Cowboys, the situation is equally complex. On one hand, the franchise has publicly expressed support for Guyton, emphasizing their commitment to ethics and sportsmanship. On the other hand, they are undoubtedly concerned about how this episode might reflect on their team culture. The Cowboys have always prided themselves on discipline, resilience, and playing the game the right way. This incident challenges those values, at least in perception, and forces the coaching staff and leadership to address it head-on. Will they implement stricter internal policies? Will they use this as a teaching moment for the entire team? These are strategic questions that could influence how the team approaches discipline in the future. The fans, of course, are divided. Some see this as a clear-cut violation, a reckless act that deserves punishment. They argue that maintaining integrity in the game is essential, especially for a franchise with a rich history of sportsmanship and competitive excellence. They believe that such actions, even if accidental, undermine the credibility of the sport and set a bad example for younger players and fans. Conversely, others argue that the incident was isolated, a youthful mistake, perhaps driven by the heat of the moment, and that penalizing Guyton too harshly might be excessive. They emphasize the importance of context and argue that players sometimes act impulsively under intense pressure. The debate is lively, and social media is flooded with opinions, some defending Guyton, others condemning him. Now, let's take a step back and analyze what this incident reveals about the broader landscape of the NFL this season. We're seeing an increased emphasis on protecting players and maintaining the sport's integrity. The league has been cracking down on unsportsmanlike conduct, helmet-to-helmet hits, and other dangerous behaviors. Tripping, while perhaps less common than other fouls, is viewed as a clear violation that needs to be addressed firmly. This incident underscores that the NFL is serious about enforcing its rules, even if it means controversial decisions or public debates. But what about the context of the game itself? The Cowboys and Eagles have a long-standing rivalry dating back decades. These matchups are often characterized by intense physicality, strategic chess matches, and moments of high drama. In this particular game, the stakes were high. Perhaps a playoff spot or divisional supremacy was on the line. Such high-pressure moments can sometimes lead players to make split-second decisions, not always the most disciplined. Yet the league's stance is that discipline and sportsmanship should always prevail, regardless of the score or situation. That's why the NFL's decision to penalize Guyton sends a clear message. No matter how heated the game gets, illegal actions like tripping will not be tolerated. From a statistical perspective, Tyler Guyton's season has been promising. As a rookie, he's shown flashes of potential as a reliable protector for Dak Prescott and the offensive line. His run-blocking grades have been solid, and he's been praised for his athleticism and technique. However, incidents like this can have ripple effects, affecting his confidence, his standing within the team, and how coaches will utilize him moving forward. The Cowboys, for their part, have one of the best offensive lines in the league when healthy, but consistency and discipline are key to their success. An episode like this could serve as a wake-up call, emphasizing the importance of playing within the rules and maintaining composure. Looking at the historical context, the NFL has always had a complicated relationship with penalties related to sportsmanship. Some legendary players have been fined or suspended for similar infractions. Think of notorious moments in league history where discipline was scrutinized. The league's efforts to clean up the game have been ongoing, with campaigns promoting respect and safety. This incident with Guyton is just another chapter in that ongoing story. It also raises questions about player education. Are young athletes adequately prepared to handle the emotional and physical pressures of professional football? Or do they sometimes resort to impulsive actions that cost them dearly? In terms of impact on the season, this episode could be a turning point. If Guyton faces a suspension, it could open the door for other players to step up, testing the depth of the Cowboys roster. It also might influence how the team approaches discipline moving forward, perhaps leading to stricter internal policies or more emphasis on mental preparedness. For the broader playoff picture, the Cowboys are competing in a fiercely contested NFC East, where every game counts. Incidents like this can shake team chemistry or morale, but they can also serve as rallying points if addressed correctly. Comparing the Cowboys with other teams, we see that discipline and sportsmanship are universal themes. Teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers, and Philadelphia Eagles have all faced their own controversies, but the league's stance remains consistent, enforcing a standard that promotes safety and fairness. The Cowboys, with their rich history of disciplined play, are under particular scrutiny because of their reputation and the expectations placed upon them. How they handle this situation could define their approach to discipline for the rest of the season. So, what's next? Well, all eyes will be on Tyler Guyton. Will he accept the league's penalty and learn from the mistake? Or will this incident serve as a catalyst for growth, pushing him to improve his understanding of the game's spirit? The coaching staff's response will be crucial. Will they support him publicly while addressing the importance of sportsmanship behind closed doors? Moreover, how will this affect team dynamics? Will players rally around Guyton? Or will there be internal discussions about discipline and accountability? These are questions that only time can answer, but one thing is clear. This incident adds another layer of complexity to what was already shaping up to be an exciting and unpredictable season for the Cowboys. Now, let's consider the broader implications for the league. The NFL's approach to discipline has been evolving, especially in recent seasons. The league has been trying to strike a balance between maintaining the integrity of the game and allowing players the freedom to compete fiercely. Incidents like this test that balance, raising questions about where to draw the line. Will the league become stricter, perhaps even more than it already is? Or will it adopt a more lenient stance in certain cases? The decision made in this situation could set a precedent, influencing how future infractions are handled and how players approach their conduct on the field. As we look ahead, it's worth considering the upcoming games for the Cowboys. How will this incident influence their approach? Will they emphasize discipline and sportsmanship in practice? Will they use this as a teaching moment for the entire roster? And what about the fans? How will they react? Some may see this as a sign of weakness, while others might interpret it as a sign of a team striving to do better. The rivalry with the Eagles isn't just about wins and losses. It's about character, resilience, and the ongoing battle to be the best. Incidents like this remind us that even in a game of giants, the human element remains at the core. In the context of the NFL's broader landscape, this situation also underscores the importance of mental toughness. Football is an emotionally charged sport, and players often find themselves in situations where instinct takes over. How do young athletes like Guyton learn to channel that energy positively? Are the coaching staff providing enough guidance on emotional regulation? These are essential questions, especially as the league continues to push for a safer and more respectful environment. And what about the future? Will this incident lead to stricter rules or new initiatives? Perhaps the league will reinforce educational programs about sportsmanship, emphasizing that the game isn't just about physicality, but also about respect and integrity. For the Cowboys, this could be an opportunity to reinforce their team culture, making it clear that discipline and respect aren't just team slogans, they are core values. In the long run, how a team handles adversity like this can define their character and their chances in the postseason. To wrap things up, let's reflect on what this story teaches us. Football is a game of passion, skill, and strategy, but also one of discipline and character. Incidents like the one involving Tyler Guyton remind us that every play, every decision carries weight. It's a lesson for players, coaches, and fans alike about the importance of playing the game the right way, respecting opponents, and upholding the league's standards. The NFL's response shows that the league is serious about protecting its integrity, and that even promising young players like Guyton must learn to navigate the pressures of professional football responsibly. So, as we wait to see how this situation unfolds, whether Guyton faces a suspension, a fine, or perhaps a public apology, we should remember that every story in football has multiple layers. It's about more than just a foul or a penalty. It's about growth, accountability, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. The Cowboys have faced challenges before, and they've always come back stronger. This incident might be just another chapter in their ongoing story, a story of resilience, discipline, and the never-ending quest to be champions. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the league's punishment was justified, or do you believe Guyton was unfairly targeted? Are you worried about how this might affect the team's momentum? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. Remember, this isn't just a story about a foul. It's about the character of our team and the sport we love. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Let's keep the conversation going, stay passionate, and above all, keep supporting our team through thick and thin. Because that's what Cowboys fans do. Stand tall, stand proud, and believe in the greatness of this team, no matter what challenges come our way.